Hello guys, glad to be here with you. I'm zôÖma, co-founder at Teritori. So today I'll try to present basically the current state and the vision behind Teritori, and especially the roadmap in upcoming 6 months. So the most frequent question we received in last months was this one: what the fuck are you building, guys? Because it was hard for us to explain the long-term vision behind Teritori, which is quite radical. So I'll try to split behind the current state and what have been done and what we got in mind for the next year. So to sum up, this punchline is the most accurate right now. So we are building a super app. We could also call it an operating system. Since we gather a lot of features, we will dig a bit about it. And we got a multi-chain approach. So currently we are based on a, I will talk about it later. But yeah, we got a multi-chain approach, so agnostic vision. And we'll dig about different features that are currently available. But let's talk a bit about the vision behind this. Basically, we are fully based on a dystopian thesis. We believe that we need to care about the censorship resistance and the common tools that we will need in upcoming years for humans, and not only Web3 addicts, Web3 traders, etc. So we base our vision on a multi-chain approach that will probably help to gather a lot of different ecosystems, core teams, etc. But we want also to reduce the friction for people that basically have to know various networks, dApps, etc., and gather it into a single application. That's why we can sometimes call it an operating system, and we want to make it custom for each user to have his own experience. So our mission is to build something that is a common tool and doesn't have any dependency to an ecosystem, one network, or one foundation, or whatever. And we want to make it simple for people. So basically, to target mainstream audience is for us really important. We care about my grandma, my new view, my kids, whatever. We want them to be onboarded easily. And the last point, the most important for us, is to make it really resilient. And the resilient word is the most important for us. We will try to explain it in this talk. So in terms of tech, what's Teritori actually? The first thing is today it's a Cosmos SDK based network, but we officially say that it's not for the long-term vision. We will migrate into a Gnoland token in the future, and we will be based on Gnoland. I will also present what is Gnoland in the upcoming slides. So now we focus the current state on Cosmos SDK because it was the simpler way to go fast and to bootstrap a community, bootstrap the project, etc. And also to try to onboard more developers. But the second thing is we are also a dApp. As I said, we can call it an all-in-one or operating system, whatever, that will gather various networks like Ethereum, Cosmos chains, etc. An important thing in this application is we care about the offline technologies and off-chain protocols. We want basically to make it frictionless for people to use it as a social experience, etc. So we have like a kind of secret sauce for this part, and I will present it later. So what's the development status? During last year, we provided like the most standard Web3 features, like NFT marketplace, NFT launchpad, etc., which are not the core feature for us, but was interesting to onboard the community. and start basically to build an experience and get feedback from users, try to identify the real needs for communities, for individuals, etc. So first step was to build the individual experience. As a simple user, what can I explore? Book my name service and use it on a social feed, etc. Or launch NFT collection. But for us, this is only like the early stage and a way to go ahead, gather more developers and go in more innovative features. So on this road, we were like a small team, self-funded, and it was quite intense. But behind the hood, we kept in mind the more innovative vision, and it was like we are quite happy about the current state. But we failed on various things, like managing the roadmap with, for example, the play to earn on Ethereum, which is really late, and users are a bit, feeling bad about it. But we have to be honest. It was like we made just our best, and it was quite intense. For this update, especially on play to earn, it will be. We hope it will be live next month. And on this roadmap, we had also in the background kind of rat lab that were for us the main focus. The first one was to build first smart contracts on Gnoland. So I will present basic examples and features we built. But basically, for us, the vision is to start early on Gnoland, which is the new project from Jaekwon, founder of Cosmos, to experiment various new smart contract standards like DAO templates for people to create DAOs easily using Golang. And we built like the first modules that are necessary, for example, for a social feed. If you want to make a decentralized social feed and make it moderated by a DAO. So the research team was pretty focused on this part. It was really intense too, and it was like a very, very interesting, since it's an early project and new language. And we will release also next week multi-sig wallets for all Cosmos chains. That will be useful even if you don't have Teritori use cases, etc. You'll be able to use it on whatever the chain. And the current state is like this. Maybe I forgot some specific things, but yeah, that's the main point. So first phase was the bootstrap. Now we are finishing to deliver some alpha versions on the Gnoland testnet for moderation module, DAO standards, etc. And also releasing first play to earns on Ethereum, Cosmos, etc. And today what I wanted to present you is what is coming in upcoming months, and especially the user experience that will change a lot. Because from day one, our target was to provide a decentralized messenger that will be like really, really simple for people to use it, like Signal or WhatsApp, and to make it easy to interact with your friends in a group conversation, and include some Web3 features in this user experience. So that's the main thing I will present you after this. And we estimate that maybe in 1 year, to be defined, but we will migrate from Cosmos SDK chain to Gnoland chain, our token. And we expect to be maybe one of the most important contributors on Gnoland, since we started early, and we want to continue and expand our works on Gnoland. So current state is we have like kind of decentralized Twitter, so social feed that can be used both with your simple wallet or with a DAO. So we also launched the DAO deployer on Cosmos and all Cosmos chain. Now next week will be the multisig. And what you can see on the right side is basically a kind of dApp store. So you can imagine that each new plugin, for example, we added Osmosis Dex, and each user will be able to integrate and customize his own experience to basically have all dApps from Ethereum, Cosmos, etc. And yeah, the last one also in this list is a play-to-earn that is made by an external team, which launched an NFT project and created a play-to-earn. So this is live. You can go on app.teritori.com. And so yeah, what about Gnoland? Gnoland, as I said, is the new project from Jaekwon, founder of Cosmos and Jamint. And basically, the new approach I wanted to explore was smart contracts using Golang, which is a really famous backend language and can be really simple to read, really transparent, and really secured. So for us, it's really interesting to explore a new, easily onboarding for developers to build smart contract, abstraction complexity of consensus, and avoid to learn solidity, etc. And what's interesting for us on this project is also the part of the consensus. Jaekwon is exploring a new protocol that is called proof of contribution. So to summarize, I could say that if you build a smart contract using Gnoland, you'll be the owner of this contract, and you'll receive some shares of the network. And in the long run, you will receive some rewards from the public token. So you'll have two tokens, the one which represents the share of the network, and the other one which is the public one. And once you have shares, it's for forever, and you are kind of part of the cooperative network, I would say, and you are paid for your contribution. The goal is to avoid whales or people that just came with money, and provide a network that is fair for contributors to continue and improve the network for long term. Last info on Gnoland, we are collaborating with Gnoland core team for a few months, and we just received a grant from All in Bits and Jaekwon to continue our work, especially on the DAO topic, so everything related to DAO standards and moderation for social feed, etc. So what you can see here is the first standard we built on Gnoland, basically a DAO standard. It's inspired from Aragon smart contracts, if you know, on Ethereum, which are for us kind of really robust and interesting. We also ported the DAO contract from Cosmos, which is the equivalent. So you can see that Gnoland is really similar to Go, which is basically it's really forked from Golang. And what you can see on the right side is the way we integrated in the UI of Teritori. So for example, here you can see a public profile of a DAO, which is basically Anon at the moment. And you can see all proposals there. So everything is public, and you can have the social feed, all assets, etc. displayed. And the whole governance is, of course, public too. And here it's like the proof of concept and the first version for integration. The second point we built last month is the GNOME moderation module. So this realms, so a realm is a smart contract in Gnoland. This realm is made to allow people to build dApps or dApps, yeah, social feed, forums, whatever the social network you want to build, and make sure you can have a DAO that is basically the moderation DAO and allow to manage the content on this social feed. So this will be live on testnet, on a new testnet next week, I think. Yeah, at the beginning of August. And yeah, that's what that's all on Gnoland at the moment. And now I can just present you something that is maybe the most innovative part in Teritori. So our vision is to build a kind of radically resilient tool for communication. And we believe that we need to imagine the most dystopian theory, basically, and the most extreme cases. For example, in China or even in France or wherever you are in the world, networks around cannot be trusted when there are some riots. It can be also like meteorological disasters, etc. But basically, people cannot communicate in this kind of case. And even for police, firemen, or whatever, they are like shut down. All networks around are shut down. So we built an experience that is not using any blockchain and doesn't need any cellular network or Wi-Fi. So you'll be able to create a group with your friends on your mobile or on your desktop and use the BLE, so Bluetooth Low Energy, and the Wi-Fi directly to have a mesh network with your friends. This isn't a full mesh network with random people, just with your friends. But for example here, if we are all in a group, we will not need internet or cellular to communicate. And what's interesting is to imagine for little towns in Africa or whatever you are, that can basically be radically resilient in a zone. And if someone in the group got internet, it will like be the relay for this community with another community or with the rest of the world. So this is built on top of Wesh network. In the Teritori core team, we are 3 old former members of the Bertie and Wesh network team. And we decided to connect this protocol to a token-gated vision that will allow, for example, a DAO to both use it in extreme cases and have the token gating useful for Web3 features like secure channel, etc. And this is expected for the end of the year. So we want to accelerate on this part because this experience will be like the core feature of the Teritori user experience in upcoming months. So let's take an example of a journey. Let's say I want to build a new project with my friend Ferryman, and let's say we have a conversation together. Maybe if it's a new project, we will need first a multisig together, because we will be able to create a multisig and put phones in it. And then with this multisig, so you can see here that I can even add more people, of course. I can search every members or contacts using the name service. Then, so we have a multisig together. We decide to put some phones in the multisig to be able to hire some developers or designers together and make sure like that we have a dedicated wallet for this. So here we discuss a bit and try to, okay, let's find someone to lead the development, for example. So here Mehdi is suggesting another core team member who is called Noise. And so we can go on his profile. We can check everything that this guy made before as quests in terms of security, development, every services he could have provided to any other client or to a DAO, etc. So yeah, basically verify his background. And we can use the escrow system to have like all gigs this guy is providing and decide to hire this guy for our project. So here to be to explain on this side, this feature we will release it at the end of the summer. It will be based only on Cosmos smart contract for the moment, but the target is to make it on Gnoland before the end of the year. what's interesting also is we can reuse it to create some grants program or a bounty program as a company, for example, to extend or externalize some development. It's kind of similar to Upwork or Malt or whatever, but decentralized. So okay, we hired Norman, and now he's working. That's the first step. Okay, so I'll just finish. Yeah, I can accelerate. So yeah, we built the project at this moment, so now we can create a DAO together with the multisig. Onboard more, for example, investors that could be interested to invest in the project, and then we can publish with the multisig on the social feed and officialize the release of the project. And yeah, at this moment we can see like the DAO managing posts on social feed, and yeah, that's all. Thank you for attention.